All right, Capricorns, this is your big yearly forecast for 2026. So we are going to be diving in and kind of look at some overall, just see the themes, what's going on for you when we look ahead at the new year. So there's a lot of big astrological things happening. So I'm really just going to hit kind of stuff happening the first half of the year. Obviously, stay in touch with the weeklies because that's where I really dive into more of like what's going on, you know, at the current moments in time. So you'll definitely get that in the weeklies, but wanted to call that out. So this is the first time I'm doing this on my channel. These are usually by popular demand. So I am going to dive in and see what's going on for Capricorns. What do we have? So also, as usual, if you're interested in a personal reading, you can book one on my website, which is linked below. I did update my links because for some reason I noticed my Etsy link wasn't there. So I've been talking about my Etsy shop and didn't have it linked. So it is now linked. So take a look at my Etsy shop. I do handmade jewelry that I use stones and crystals, mainly bracelets because I just love, it's an easy way to put stones, have them connected to you on your skin. You can wear them throughout the day. And I really pick my bracelets every day, kind of like, what energy do I need today? What am I feeling? What am I going through? What am I looking for support with? And that's kind of how I pick. So you can definitely customize based on things that you're looking for. You know, maybe you're going through some things and want more support. Maybe you want more protection energy, but they also make good gifts. So wanted to call that out as well. Also, my books are available on Amazon if you're interested too, and getting more deeper into the sum of everything, which is the book series. And really, you know, the purpose of what I do on this channel, my writings, everything I do is, I have it noted in my description, but it's fourfold. You can take a look and read that. But yeah, I wanted to call that out. So this is going to be probably a little longer than usual. I'm also going to have an extended at the end, so definitely don't miss out on that. The extended is going to be linked as well in the description. If you're interested in that, I'm going to be going further into more details for you guys, which I'll dig into specifically love and romance and also work and career specifically. For the extended, and then we'll also look at just some general outcomes for the year. All right, so let's start in with just some general astrological things I just want to call out for you guys. So another thing I'm going to hit in this reading is the big Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries, which is happening February 20th. And cards are flying already. And this is a huge indication of like a complete reset and restart energy. The last time that this happened was literally 6,000 years ago. Okay, so this is a huge, you know, when we look at big level, high level, this isn't like small, right? Small beans, this is big beans. This is 6,000 years ago. So this is a huge trigger point for a complete restructure, rechange. This is also a dissolution of just anything foundational that we've built things on that aren't serving us anymore. So this could include institutions, organizations, governments. Really, Saturn is the planet of karma. So we're literally closing and wrapping up chapters of karmic patternings, of karmic just energies, experiences, things like that. And that Neptune energy combining with that is around really the really, you know, anything causing disillusionment, anything that's lying or isn't clear, or, you know, they're trying to create an image, but that's not what's really going on behind the scenes. All of this is going to be disillusioned, or, you know, cleared. So a lot of stuff is going to be coming up to the surface, and that's what Neptune does. It's like getting the stuff from the unconscious, or getting the stuff that's really going on under the surface and bringing it up to the surface for us to see, for us to face and clear. And then Saturn's like, yep, if this isn't working for us, if this is causing harm to us or the collective, it's got to go. So this is going to be huge. We're going to see a lot the first couple months, especially of the year. You know, there could be a lot of chaos and turmoil. It's not something that we are not used to at this point. The best advice I can give everyone, this isn't a time to be afraid. I'm excited for this because these things that are deceptive, that are harming people, that are creating suffering, people that are lying, that aren't standing up in integrity and honesty, we have to clear that out. So this is going to be amazing. Again, the guidance is to really just, we need to step back, surrender, and flow with it, and don't get pulled into it. Don't let it get pulled in. We need to view this from a high level, from an objective level, and allow things. We need to focus right on ourselves. And that's going to be our biggest focus, is just doing the inner job within ourselves, to navigate our external world, but to also, you know, create and connect to the frequencies we want to experience. So the focus needs to be more on, okay, what do we want to build now, right? What do we want to build for ourselves? What is our focus going to be on, which it should be around the things you want to align with. So that's February. Next, in April, we have Uranus moving into Gemini. That's going to be a big one. Uranus moves every 7 years, signs. And the last time Uranus was in Gemini was in 1949. So it's been a while. This is going to be around revolution and collective liberation. That's really Uranus. So Uranus is freeing us and liberating us. But Uranus likes to do it in unexpected ways, kind of out of the blue, surprising us. You can't put your finger on Uranus, and we can't necessarily forecast what this is going to look like, especially when it comes to Uranus. But with Gemini, this is going to be a turning point in how we think, we speak, we learn, and connect. So those are Gemini aspects, traits. So that's where we're going to see the most freedom in again, communication, how we're communicating. Are we aligned in integrity and honesty again? I think there's going to be huge revolutions in how we are learning, how we do schooling. I think the old foundational ways of how we set up education is potentially going to change in major ways, because ultimately we can see that the way our education system is literally just a template that we're applying to everyone and essentially trying to create robots. And it's not serving us. We need to innovate that. And then we have Pluto and Aquarius, which is also helping to support, like, we need to innovate. We need to create new, to support where we are today and where we want to go. So that's the other big one. Then we go into June and July. So the one thing in June, which is the 11th, Uranus is going to be squaring the nodal axis. So this, astrologers are seeing as a potential mass awakening. This is going to be something big as well. We'll see how that plays out. And then in July, there is kind of a big configuration around a lot of different planets, but mainly Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus are all at 4 degrees to the planet, to whatever sign they're in. So this is going to be kind of a quantum jump as well. It's like a quantum jump to a timeline that's going to support us aligning with like whatever's in our highest good. Like we're moving to our highest timeline here. We're also going to really blossom in this energy. So we're going to be blossoming into who we are meant to be at that point, right? Because, I mean, growth is the name of the game here on Earth. Growth and change. That's why we're here. And if we feel stuck, it's because we're not growing. We're not supported in our external world in ways that help us grow, whether it's our relationships we're in, our friendships, our work, you know, our environment. We need to be in places that support the frequency we're at and also are aligning with how we need to grow. So just because something worked for maybe our whole lives so far, you know, this year has already started that for everyone. 2025 was it was starting to dig up the roots. And I feel like in 2026, we're going to be replanting our roots in a place that truly supports our stability, our security, and our potential to really blossom into our highest form. So those are the things I wanted to talk about first. So that kind of gives you an idea, Capricorn, for this whole Saturn-Neptune conjunction. And maybe we'll hit that first. You're my first zodiac sign I'm doing for the forecast. So we're figuring out how this will flow. But the biggest impacted with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction is going to be if you have Aries, Cancer, or Libra, or Capricorn sun signs, especially if you have one of those planets, you know, or the sun in one of those planets in early degrees of that sign. So you'd have to take a look at your birth charts. But definitely if you're Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn suns, which is you guys, you're going to be biggest impacted by this. Again, this is in February. Also, something to think about if you have any planets in Pisces or Aries around either between the 27 degrees and 4 degrees, and then Gemini and Cancer's 27 degrees to 4 degrees, same thing, and then Virgo, Libras, or Sag, or Caps. Again, that's you guys. So I feel like you Capricorns are going to be impacted more intensely with this. So we'll see. Let's see what that's going to bring for you here. Oh yeah, I wanted to, sorry, I'm all over the place. Let's pull a couple oracle cards first for just general themes for the year for you first. Themes for Capricorns for 2026. So the Temple Path, Victory, and Women Holding a Coin. So the themes this year is really going to about your spiritual path. There's going to be a big focus on that. Evolving, I'm getting enlightenment and just growing in regards to your, you know, wisdom coming in and connecting and kind of moving. You're kind of evolving up or ascending higher this year from a spiritual level. I do feel like you're going to have a lot of success and victory this year, especially when it comes to finance or wealth here with the woman holding the coin. I do want to just read that card for you quick. 42. This card, if you are female or identify with the feminine here, this can come up in your reading and refer to you into a successful endeavor regarding finances or health. So, again, this could be you aligning with success, financial success, and improvement in health. It could also signal a woman of support or assistance regarding finances or health. So this could also be someone else coming in to help you in those areas. She may give you financial advice or connect you with someone who can help you. And this may be someone, it could be someone you meet, maybe collaboration or some connection that can improve your finances. But this potential woman, if it's not you, is someone who's aligned with wealth and value. So all positive, and then you have victory, success here. So I like this energy for you. I would say too, with the Temple Path, that any endeavors that you're doing in regards to like work or like money should align. You want to do things that align with, again, your authenticity, with your highest truth, right? And aligning with your integrity. You should be, there's an evolution here about shifting how we're doing work or the actions we're putting out into the world, our activities, and that it aligns more with like who we really are now, right? So think about that for this year coming up and how can you shift, because I think that shift is also going to be the piece that plays a part in your ultimate success. Oop, we have flyers here. I'm not going to get those yet. So let's first look at the Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries. How is that going to impact Capricorns in February? Ooh, I like this. I feel this is going to be an emotional... So what I'm getting is, since November of this, so last month, we had a lot of that kind of purging, purification energy with all the water. So to me, it's like you're going to be spending these months leading up to next February kind of cleaning house in regards to your emotional body. Really cutting out, addressing like emotional trauma, healing, integrating things. Kind of, again, cleaning house emotionally, cleaning house, going to the root, going to the unconscious, cleaning this out. This is also, to me, a new beginning from an emotional standpoint, which this is then aligning with things that are fulfilling for you. And that can be anything in your life, but that's like a new beginning in regards to emotional fulfillment, which I love. Look at that, 2 aces back to back. So major, this is, which is exactly what this aspect is. It's about resetting and restarting, new beginnings. So, and then you get 2 aces, Capricorn. So I do see this as very auspicious for you guys, very positive energy. There could be a huge, just new change for you with this aspect in February. I think there's going to be opportunities abound for you, and really you navigating any sort of change or decisions should be aligned with your heart and what really fulfills you. 2 of Wands. This is about expansion. So you're really expanding out in some way in your life. You're getting out of the old or the comfort zone of what you would normally would do. And you're really expanding yourself. This could also be a move. It could be expanding your work, shifting your work in a whole new way. But this to me is too about like getting out of the normal day-to-day routines. Like something is definitely going to, the way you're doing things, just to me from a day-to-day, is going to look a lot different. And this aspect is really going to prompt this for you. 5 of Cups. Because I do feel like this is where this is where you've come from. Your, you know, there's been a potential lot of loss that has happened for you in your past. And, you know, you could be still holding on to grief and all that. And that's kind of what this Ace of Cups is about. Really clearing all this trauma that's tied to things from the past here. This Five of Cups can also be about regrets, things that you didn't do. And now I think you're really going to get the motivation to say, I'm done like regretting or saying someday or shoulda, woulda, coulda. Like, you're taking literally the horse by the rein, your life by the reins here. And you're going to like take charge and really start doing things differently, I feel, next year. Let's see, what's this ace, the ace is about? Six of Pentacles. So creating balance in your life. It's really about emotional balance with like external balance. So this could be like balancing out, you know, how much work you're doing, like not focusing too much on like external factors like money or like, you know, again, like the physical things, like your day-to-day, how that looks. You're focused more, and I'm shifting to do things every day that now it's like following your bliss here. You're going to start following your bliss and doing that every day. And that's going to completely shift and change your life. What's the Five of Cups about? Two of Swords. Yeah, you've definitely been pushing down. This could be, you know, referring to those of you who tend to like to push down your emotions. You don't really express your emotions that much. Stuff happens and you kind of don't talk about it. But this has to change. These are patterns that have to change. And you getting more comfortable in expressing yourself, expressing how you feel, because that's, I mean, all of us have to learn to do that. It's not just something that like, oh, water signs do. That's how water people are. Or, oh, we need to get out of this, like these belief systems of, oh, people who are emotional are weak or they're sensitive. We all need to be more connected to our emotional space. And I do feel like you finally are doing a lot more internal, you're going and doing more internal work. And you're going to start focusing on that next year. So this is some great energy for you with this conjunction, Capricorn. So I'm going to move this to the side as we dive into just general themes here. And I'm going to do kind of like a customized Celtic cross here. So the first card is going to be kind of representing you as you move into 2026. Ten of Cups. That's great. So in general, you know, things seem to be pretty good from a family standpoint. You could be feeling generally pretty good in your life. Anything challenging? What's the potential challenges here for 2026? Ten of Swords. So this could refer to something ending next year. And again, nothing should be fear-based here. I see this more of an ending of things that just don't serve us anymore. An ending of, that's where the spiritual kind of path comes in, of like you're really going to be spiritually evolving and ascending. And when we do that, we're just going to not be in an alignment with certain things. And I think this is good. We're kind of overcoming things that have been holding us back from our expansion, our growth here. So let's look at kind of the base root of 2026 in the theme. Four of Wands. So this is going to be kind of the underlying energy and what's kind of fueling a lot of your experiences is Four of Wands. So this could be a real shift of focus on, you're focused on family. Some of you could be focused on relationships, or just abundance and wealth. But ultimately, I do feel like this is going to be kind of your guiding northern star all year, is creating a foundation that's strong, abundant, fulfilling for you. Let's look at kind of your past here, influences for this year. We have the Nine of Swords. So immediately that what came up is more getting out of the stagnancy. We're getting out of the stagnancy, and that's again the whole Saturn-Neptune conjunction, and a lot of the astrology next year is really asking us to innovate ourselves and to get out of, we're freeing ourselves, and this can be freeing ourselves from our own mind. If you feel like you're more stuck in the mind a lot, you're freeing yourselves from these things that create kind of this Groundhog Day effect. This just like the same thing over and over again. And you're freeing yourself from this year. And to me, this ending, you know, this could be a challenge. There could be something challenging to let go of because it's something that you've, you know, it's like a comfort zone, right? Or it's something that, well, we've always done this. And maybe sometimes with Capricorns too, you guys kind of are that earth energy. You like to be grounded. You like to know all the details, but like this energy in 2026 is going to be pushing us out of our comfort zones. Let's look at so this is the rope. We're going to look at your crown here energy. So Five of Pentacles. So there is a little, you know, stuff coming up for next year around money and wealth. So if you feel like you've kind of, 2025 kind of hit you financially, I think you're going to think of new ways to earn money. This is also kind of learning to how we approach things, right? There's that whole Uranus and Gemini. Reinventing ways that we connect with people, that we learn, and maybe learning new ways of financial kind of management, or just new ways of bringing in more money, right? Through things we put out in the world, our work, our products, our skills, our abilities. All right, Justice. So definitely, I think this is 2026 is going to be a year of karmic rebalancing for you. So you have wrapped up, you've been through a lot of karmic situations, I feel, especially the last 7 years, and they've kind of hit you. But this year, it's the aspecting energies are going to help kind of create some new balance for you, right? You got the Six of Pentacles here for that February aspect. So I do like this. And let's get the last couple here. So we have Page of Pentacles, Five of Swords, the Sun. I like that. And the Tower. Woo! Yes, this Tower to me, I'm starting up here. The Tower is clearing the way for your happiness. Something to make you happiness. I do feel like there's a little bit of worry about, you know, am I going to find happiness in some area of my life? Maybe an area of your life has been difficult, but I do feel like the Sun coming in a reading, especially around its cards, are actually shifting those cards to more positive. So I feel like this Tower is really a positive thing coming in. This could be a surprise next year. Let me get one clarifier. A surprise, courage, strength. There's something about your overcoming whatever this tower does, I think, again, it's clearing the way for something that's going to be really great for you. And it's really going to grow your confidence and your kind of general power. But also there's this like balancing out of your masculine and feminine energies as well. So there's really this like balancing internally for you that's going to mirror in your external world. But there's definitely things of value coming in for you next year. I do potentially think for some of you, you could be learning something new, or maybe like diving into something new and learning. Maybe you could be, going back to school. Some of you could be like getting a certification in something, or learning, let's say, if you're wanting to dive more into the spiritual space, maybe like learning Reiki or like energy healing or something like that. But I do feel like this goes back again to Uranus moving into Gemini about like really wanting to learn something new, and like shifting our focus and maybe how we're making money as well for Capricorns. So I like that. Five of Swords here. I'm just going to get a clarifier. I'm almost getting there could be some dynamics or relationships that are get a little hairy and how you navigate with them. These could be people that are kind of controlling or manipulators here, or always there's this competition here. So this could come out in your work. This could come out in your friend space. Some of you could have been dealing with a relationship like this, but I do feel like these energies can't continue to thrive in the new energy next year. So it could be, if it is a relationship, I do feel like that's something that potentially does, you decide, right? This is like, what do I do with this? Kind of, this creates uncertainty, but I'm getting more if it's like you making a decision, like, what do I do here? What I'm hearing intuitively is don't engage. So anyone who is still stuck in this energy next year, they're saying don't engage with them. If it creates a lot of uncertainty in regards to like a work environment or something like that, that could prompt you to want to shift and move into a new job or a new line of work. But I just feel like these types of people where maybe in the past we were like, oh, we just kind of dealt with them. Like, we need to ensure and really stay connected to how these people are impacting us, because you could be carrying a lot of baggage or energy that's not even yours. It's other people's. And as long as we stay around people like that, or engage or stay in environments, it's going to be really hard to not have that impact us. So I think that's just something to be aware of for next year, and something that you should focus on, again, doing your own internal work to approach these in new ways, but also to like, hey, making decisions, going back to the Two of Wands, making decisions to expand into new environments, new places with new people that are more aligned with, things that fuel you in a positive way. And let's just get one for this Ten of Swords. Three of Swords. Devil. Okay, so there is a karmic situation here that this is referring to, Capricorns, that I feel like maybe you haven't fully, it's not over yet, but in 2026, I do feel like this is something that your higher self is going to really be asking you to face. Again, this is a karmic situation, so this could be a trauma bond in a relationship, but whatever it is, it's just, it can't move any farther, because what it's doing is it's holding you back. It's holding you back from your spiritual ascension, your spiritual expansion. I do also feel like this could be impacting your finances, and just, when we're stuck in situations that are really toxic or just karmic, it really does impact us in like all areas of our life. I do feel like it's just divine timing that this kind of the completion of this, the Ten of Wands. It has caused you a lot of pain. I do feel like potentially even though it has been difficult. Sometimes too, even difficult people, situations, when it does end, there's still some grieving and loss here. But I do feel like this karmic situation just has to end because it's just not good for you anymore. And this is going to be a challenge, right? This is kind of your challenging aspect here. So, but this is, the Justice card is coming in to help to just balance out your life here. But look at, at the root here, this is what's wanting to come in 2026 is some sort of new personal, this could be a relationship, it could be a new just environment that's more supportive of abundance in your kind of blossoming to the person you are meant to be. All right, Capricorns, one last thing before we move on to the extended here. I'm going to pull one of these Gaia Oracle cards, and this is going to be a message that's, again, a general theme for you for next year. Okay, so we have achievement. Keep focused on your dream. So you had victory here and you have achievement. So I do feel like there is something next year where you're going to make some sort of, you're going to level up. You're going to achieve something. And it has been a dream of yours. And I do feel like this is finally going to come to fruition for you next year. And you're going to be able to fulfill this dream. So I love that. And I'm just going to read it to you quick from the book, because this book has great, I love the meanings of the cards here, but it says, you will soon achieve a goal you had set for yourself. Your hard work and persistence is about to pay off. Know that you deserve all the success that is coming your way. Quietly acknowledge this to yourself as you celebrate your achievements. Thank the earth and universe for this blessing in the knowledge that all you do is a co-creation with the higher powers that be. Do not lose sight of your original purpose and intention. This is only the beginning, but much more can be accomplished provided you keep focused on your dream. Love it, Capricorns. So great stuff for next year. So hopefully this really helped you get some perspective on, navigating next year. But for those of you who want to continue, we're going to move on to the extended, and the link is below in the description. Otherwise, thanks for joining in, all you Capricorns out there. Have a great 2026, and I will see you in the next monthly or weekly, so stay connected. Bye for now.